If you kindly agree, we can start. Okay, let's start. Dear friends, let me share the screen very quickly. Okay, welcome to our meeting of today. The draft agenda is composed of 3 items. The first item is a presentation by our dear friend Helvig Fenner from Germany, and the topic of his presentation will be contributions and integration of raffles to UBI advocacy efforts. I think it will be a very interesting presentation. I would like to thank him in advance. And then following his presentation, we would like to hear if there are any news from working groups or news from UBI advocates and UBI networks. So do you agree with the agenda, or would you like to add something else? Okay, so we can continue like this. Okay, dear Helvig, please unmute yourself and the word is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Ali. Thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to talk about the project and maybe the project in advance. Today we talk about a raffle and how to and if integrate it to UBI advocacy efforts worldwide. First of all, I would like to present you UBI for All, which is a project settled in Europe. It's ubiforall.eu, and we founded it in last year. And it is a vehicle for the European Citizens Initiative for unconditional basic incomes to collect the signatures. So you all to get the signatures for the ECI UBI, and it's a raffle. So every time we have funded €800 per month for 1 year, so which is €9,600. And some we will raffle it off to anyone who has registered to on our website. And register is for free, and everybody, every EU resident aged 16 years minimum can participate in the raffle. Why are we doing this? As I said, it's a vehicle for the ECI UBI, and however, we adapted it from an existing concept. Mein Grundeinkommen in Germany. I saw many of yours here are from Germany and or Austria, so you might know the Mein Grundeinkommen project settled in Germany. They raffle off UBI since 2014, and they're very successful with now 30 employees with more than 2.3 million registered users, so people on their platform, and they already have raffled off more than 700, so exactly 779 UBIs for 1 year, with each €1,000 per month, because in Germany we say it should be a little bit higher than the European, than the European basic income. So-called European basic income. We said €800 per month to UBI for All project, because this is more or less the average of the at risk of poverty line in the EU. So Mein Grundeinkommen is quite successful, and so we adapted the concept in order to get the signatures for the ECI UBI, and to attract also the press. They should be interested from the UBI winners, and as the example in Germany shows, there are lots of every week you can read something in the newspapers and magazines about the UBI winners from Mein Grundeinkommen in Germany. So the raffle concepts attract people twice, I think. One thing is the hope for a better world, of course, given by the UBI, and very simply saying for winning money. So it adds real life experiences to the theoretical debates about basic income, and make it visible in the press and the media. So in all, it's a very good instrument to let people get in touch with UBI for the first times. Yeah. UBI for all extends now the concept of raffle of UBI to the European level, offering its website in more than 20 languages. So we've started in November and still work on funding the first year of UBI. Yeah. Can you see the next slide? I have some problems here, my computer. I'm not sure.
We are at the same slide, dear Helvig.
Okay.
Now it's okay.
Changed. Okay, now. Okay. Yeah, the question, is a raffle a lottery? We can say clearly, no, there's a big difference because in a raffle, you can register for free. If you think of a crossword puzzle, for example, in a magazine, everybody shall know this. You can send the words via SMS or anything else, but you don't have to pay for it. To attend a lottery, one has to pay to get something out. So this is the difference. And in Germany, where the UBI for all entity is settled, winnings from a raffle are not being taxed by 20,000 euro within 10 years, whereas the entire winning from a lottery is being taxed. Yeah, so for a lottery, you also need a license, but a raffle can be organized by everyone. And so the terms and conditions can be shaped individually. Yeah, so if we publish a magazine, we could organize a raffle, no problem. Or if you like to organize a raffle, so tombola or something like that in front of your house, let's do it. Yeah, it's not forbidden. It's for free. So according to the German law. Yeah, again, shortly the advantages, maybe why integrating a raffle into the UBI advocacy efforts. Yeah, first point is it's attractive for the people. Again, I mean, UBI is often a very theoretical thing. The first, so my impression is the first idea is easy to understand, but then questions come up and it's difficult to discuss, and you need some background knowledge. And the raffle would be very easy just to attract people, to talk about them, let them register on the platform, sending out newsletters from time to time, to talk about UBI and the background knowledge, etc., etc. Yeah, it adds that kind of real life experiences to that debates. So it's a more interesting and attracting thing for the press and the media. And in every case, whether it's if it is the ECI UBI or any other petitions, you need the press and the media. Yeah, so this is a very good thing to be attractive, or to pull out, to publish interesting stories. Yeah, a raffled UBI is not a real UBI. Yeah, of course not. Yes, it's unconditional. Because, yeah, I mean, the winners from Mein Grundeinkommen in Germany, at the beginning, 4 from 5 winners did not respond, or only responded, I don't want to give any interview, or I don't want to give a picture to the press. So it was hard times in 2014, but yeah, so it's unconditional indeed. And it's a flat amount, so 1,000 euro in Germany, from my point of view, wouldn't be enough. But I mean, we can discuss about, and it depends on the model of UBI. But the flat amount is not not that correct aspects of an UBI, I think. And of course, if you raffle UBI off, it's limited to the periods in these examples of 1 year. Yeah, it's a campaigning vehicle. It's not a test. It's not a UBI test. It's not a scientific experiment. And it's an artificial situation because if you win UBI, you are more or less alone in your surrounding. No one else has UBI, so yeah, it's a special situation, and it's money on top. Yeah, it's not a real UBI where the UBI is a basic income, but it's money on top. So it's there's a big bias, of course. So again, this is not a scientific experiment. It's for campaigning. Yeah, I put together a short overview to compare Mein Grundeinkommen, UBI for All, and the French-based project Mon Revenu de Base. Yeah, here you can see easily. So yeah, Mein Grundeinkommen is very successful since 2014. UBI for All just started last year. Mon Revenu de Base was active for 1.5 years, a little more. And this project, Mon Revenu de Base, was run by the French Green Party. We advised Julien Bayot, the Green Party speaker in France, and his team, and they built it up very quickly. And they had some special, or due to some special effects, they finished this project after raffling off 6 UBIs. But they were also financed from some, not also by permanent crowdfunding, as the others are funded here. Yeah, Mein Grundeinkommen additionally got an early sponsorship by a foundation from Götz Werner in Germany. So this was a little starting money. Yeah, this is an overview, and so gives you maybe kind of perspective, maybe what UBI for All could be, or yeah, we can make out of UBI for All. Let's see. Yeah, Ali, you asked for a SWOT analysis. Interesting thing. I didn't do it since my studying time, so it was interesting to put it together. So the question is integrating a raffle, yeah, to worldwide UBI efforts. And yeah, as I would say, to the strengths, it's a big attraction for the people. Again, it's a simple model. I mean, you only need a website. You need a progress bar. Well, you need some terms and conditions, which are where we have a good draft. You need only few core resources to operate. Yeah, web admin. Of course, at the beginning, you need some web design, and yeah, but more or less a simple model. We have a multilingual website that's available very easily by an add-on to our WordPress site. It's so nearly every language in the world is available there by automatic translation. So this is on the weakness side, of course. Once the text is automatically edited or translated into a language first time edit, yeah, and so every time you change the text, you need to edit all languages. Yeah, it's one of the efforts. yeah, every country can take part easily because the language is available. You only need some edits. Yeah, it's the design, the current design of UBI for all. We gave attention that it's not depending on some cultural things, should work worldwide, more or less, I would say. Yeah, on the weaknesses side, the crowdfunding is dependent from countries' public relations work. So one reason why UBI for all isn't that successful until now is because we need, yeah, we need press work and we need social media activity. And as we from UBI for all could do this on a European level in the English language, but we are dependent from the country's engagement here. Yeah, so the more engaged and the more maybe professional and the better the press relations are, the better is the crowdfunding of UBI for all. So this is one of the reasons I would put under weaknesses. So you need some really good media press related work. Otherwise, the success is not that fast or low. Yeah. Then opportunities. So the perspective of, say, a worldwide UBI raffle, yeah, it would increase the visibility for UBI, I would say, depending on the number of countries which take part. Of course, it increases the chance to get viral in some countries. So UBI for all at the beginning. In Greece, we had a viral moment. The Greek guys were sending out a press release, and whoop, it's a few thousand people registered on our platform. And there were some other moments for some smaller viral moments, but yeah, could be a good chance that some country would get viral. And yeah, it could be a platform for worldwide UBI interactions, because it's not a, yeah, it's less a UBI discussion platform for such UBI activists as we are for ages, but it's more or less a vehicle and the target groups for people getting in touch with the UBI for the first times, or yeah, just people even who are not convinced of the UBI or have yeah, big issues with this. So this could be a platform for this. Yeah. Sorry, was a question? Okay. And one of the threats, or the only one, I could imagine is, yeah, that there is a danger if you could get not the press in and have no good public relation, then it's only low reach and a low level of fundraising, and maybe too slowly. Yeah. So this is what I could imagine, and yeah, with this I would open the discussion. Maybe you have first some questions, understanding questions, and then we can discuss about the idea. Maybe this is a question we could discuss. Yeah, is it worth to extend UBI for all, as the name says, from .eu to .org and extend it to worldwide level? Or would you say, oh, there are some reasons why we shouldn't do this? I don't know. So thank you. And Ali, you will take over the moderation now.
Dear Helvig, thank you very much for this interesting presentation. Our friends would like to contribute and ask questions, I believe. Oh, dear Reinhard, is should we stop screen sharing maybe while receiving the contributions? Okay, dear Reinhard, please, dear Reinhard.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. First, I don't want to go into a discussion. I just want to ask first a few questions of clarification. I'm German myself, but I live in the UK. And when I try to translate raffle and lottery from English into German, it appears times as lottery. So I would be interested to know what are the different terms in German. Is it tombola? And linked to it is what you said about the legal situation, because that may be different from country to country. What makes it different between a raffle and a tombola? Is it the name, which I can't believe, or is it the amount? Because in lotteries you can normally or often win huge amounts of money because it's taxed. So if one involves different countries, it's important to understand what one needs to look out for in terms of, is it taxed or is it not taxed? And also the same with, I participate sometimes in pub raffles in England, and there you normally have to pay a ticket or something. So it's not for free. You just pay a small amount and then you may win a bottle of wine or some other item, but it's also called a raffle. So these are some questions of clarification. And maybe another one, as I said, I live in the UK. Is this at the moment meant for EU countries, or do you already want to extend it to countries outside the EU, such as the UK? Sorry about this one, but I thought before getting into discussions, I had all these questions.
Thank you, dear Reinhard. Helbig, would you like to answer?
Yeah, that's not easy to clarify because the translation sometimes confused. So a tombola would be a raffle, correct? In my understanding, and as I showed it in the presentation, a raffle is where you don't have to pay for. So you don't need to pay to get something out, and what you get out of the raffle, you don't have to pay tax. And the difference is to a lottery. For a lottery, you have to pay something in to get something out. So this is why you need a license to do a lottery in Germany. So UBI for all is settled in Germany. So the German law, it's according to the German law here. And it doesn't matter who wins the lottery from a legal view. It's only allowed, or only EU residents are eligible to participate in the UBI for all raffle here. But it does matter where you live and whether you have to pay tax on it or not. So we checked it for approx 15 countries, and more or less, or the minimum amount from the 800 euro monthly UBI after tax would be 600. So we think it's worth to do a raffle. I think this was Slovenia, a country where you have to pay tax even on that winnings of a raffle. We developed it as a vehicle for the ECI UBI. So we only allow EU residents age 16 due to legal reasons to attend the raffle, the UBI for all raffle. Yeah. I hope to clarify it.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I just, one addition, I mean, I suppose if you call something a raffle and somebody can win 1 million euros, I suppose you would pay tax in Germany. I can't imagine just by changing the name, you can sort of avoid taxation in Germany. That's, I mean, but I'm a specialist. So
yeah, no,
my assumption.
You're right. I mentioned it. You can get an income of winnings in Germany up to 20,000 euro within 10 years.
Any other friends who would like to? Dear Sabine, I guess, are you? Yes, please.
I was one of the winner from the BG from mein Grundeinkommen, and I was told about the tax. we don't pay any tax for this amount in 1 year because of so many people are donating money. So I get very low amount of each of all these donators. So therefore, I don't pay any tax in Germany for 1 year. Doesn't matter really the yearly amount, you know, it could be 1 million, but so that's what I hope it's answering your question. Okay.
Thank you. Interesting point. Dear Halik, may I ask a few questions? Because I cannot see any other friends who would like to contribute. First of all, I mean, in the meantime, I am thinking how it can be developed further. For example, can we have a connection with celebrities? For example, we can ask from a celebrity to be a financer of one of the raffle, 9,600 euros. And then this raffle will be named with his or her name. So it will be a win-win scenario. So he or she will be announced as a, how I can say, supporter of the raffle. But in the meantime, she will have a media coverage. So it might be interesting. This was my first point. The second point is regarding to have more number of people in the game. For example, if somebody registers, he has only one chance. But if somebody registers and also helps for the registration of 10 more other people, then maybe you should give him 2 chances. I mean, from 2.2 million, he has only 1 chance. But if he introduces 10 more people, he has 2.2 million, but 2 chances. So this will develop the attraction, I mean, the number of people in the system. These are very premature ideas. I mean, just developed, but I think it might be interesting to talk about these two, using the celebrities and also give a chance. Okay, thank you.
Ali, that is when you are doing such things, the people are doing things for to win. But the method of this raffle is that you don't do anything to win. When that's also dependent on how you in different countries how they work out the taxes, because if you do something for it to win, then sometimes you have to pay taxes. If you don't do anything, it's just a bonus and you don't have to pay taxes. That's just the way in the Netherlands. So if you are saying you have to find 10 people to do the raffle, you have done something. So it is not free anymore.
Mm-hmm. You know, but I think why are we looking always for people who are standing outside and not really familiar with the UBI? Why don't you do, Helwig, the same campaign as Mein Grundeinkommen is doing every day? They are appearing on Facebook, on Instagram every day. So that, I think that makes the point. So they could grow very, very fast and very easily to become so many donators. So many people are interested in UBI.
I didn't understand your question really, Sabine. What do you mean with every day?
No, that's no question. That's you were talking about the media presence of UBI for all, and especially this raffle. I think if you do the same as on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, no, not Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram every day, and they have a very well, wie heißt es auf Deutsch, gepflegte Webseite.
Sexy website.
Sag mal schnell. Yeah, a very succeeded website too, and I think that's the point. You have to appear every day. And even it is a very small sentence, you tell the people how important the message is. Yeah, got this?
Yeah, understood. Yeah, and thank you, and also Ali for your ideas, celebrity and like a marketing tandem idea, as I understood. And Robin, yeah, we need to check whether this is already an action which is allowed or not. A good idea.
May I ask a question, dear friends, to all of you? At the moment, we are 15. Was everybody aware of this Grundeinkommen before, or the raffle system, or UBI for all? I mean, have you heard about the raffles? Sabine, Reinhard, me too. Who else? Okay, Olaf, Helvig, of course. Klaus, you know,
of course, Robin built it up.
yeah,
we built it up together.
I mean, for example, have you heard about this raffle before?
Yeah, I have heard of the Mein Grundeinkommen DA for a few years.
No,
but not everybody.
No, dear Herb, have you heard about this? No.
Yeah.
Herb Steffens.
Sure.
No, I have not heard of raffles for UBI, not at all.
Okay. Vivan, have you heard before? You, Vivan? Dear Eric, have you heard before?
No, I haven't heard before.
Yeah, yes, because I heard about it because it's already the second presentation from Helvig. So no, I've heard about this already, but I have still one or two questions, if I may ask him.
Sure. I mean,
yeah. What I couldn't understand is you did this SWOT, the SWOT example for the worldwide raffle. And on the weak point, you said something with viral would be increasing, but I couldn't even understand what are you meaning by that. While are increasing and it's on the weak side. Can you explain that a little bit more? Yes. Opportunities, sorry. I cannot hear you.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a opportunity for me. Yeah, it increases the chances to get viral in at least one country.
Can you explain maybe again, what do you understand by viral?
Yeah, that means there's a rising dynamic that people register or come to the website, register for the raffle. And yeah, for example, in Greece, we had the situation that within a few days after sending out a press release, a few thousand registered for the raffle.
I see.
And it went viral means, yeah, it ran through the social media and messengers.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Ali, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, okay. Dear Sabine and dear Reinhard, I guess you are raising your hands. Would you like to say anything?
No.
Reinhard?
Did I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, dear Reinhard?
Yeah, thank you again, Helvig, for this interesting presentation. I mean, I knew about all of them, but I didn't really fully understand them. I understand them much better now. And I have two questions. One related to the EU. Is there any experience that you reach to the ones who already know about it, or that you reach new people who are sort of not familiar? And in terms of countries, I mean, in Germany, I think there is already a lot of discussion going on about UBI, while there are other European countries where it's less known. So from your group experience, is there a sort of a sign that it reaches out to people and countries which are less familiar with the UBI? That's my first question. The second one is the international aspect. I think it's a very good idea, but I have this sort of fear, especially I worked in Africa for a long time, that people who may benefit most from it probably have least access to the idea and the principle, because it seems to be very much based on social media, and I assume the poorest will have least access to it. So I think this may be a handicap, so that it reaches more the sort of what is called the middle class rather than the poorer sections of the population. And I don't know what the answer for this issue is.
Reinhard, in Germany, the poorest don't know about this idea. They know about a special website called Sanktionsfrei. These are the people who are getting sanctioned with the Hartz IV system. That's the only poor people I know who could know about the UBI. And there is another, I don't think that really the poorest in Germany know about this idea, even if we are talking and it's just discussing all over the country. Okay?
Yeah, my question was also relating to if there's an international raffle.
Yeah, I know. I understood this, because now I'm just talking about Germany, because it's even here in Germany that the most poorest people don't know.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Thank you.
Well, yes, we, at my times at Mein Grundeinkommen 2018, I guess, we evaluated the groups who are registered at Mein Grundeinkommen for the raffle, and surprisingly, 60% of registered people were female, and only 40 male. This we evaluated it, and it was due to the design. I don't know why, but the design obviously attracted more female than male. And the Mein Grundeinkommen strategy is to bring UBI out of the left political left wing into the middle of the society. So it's a very open design, very low hurdles to register, and texts who are understandable and readable easily. So our evaluation also shows that that people that the bulk of the people are less familiar with the UBI. So we asked them questions. What is an UBI? Asking for the four aspects, and only 10% could identify the 4 aspects of an UBI, which we defined in Germany. I guess this is a worldwide. They're worldwide correct. Yeah. So unconditional, high enough, individual rights, and help me with the 4th reason. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So these 4 we asked.
I don't know, because the BN defines 5 criteria, but it could be different in Germany.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe, but only 10% could identify this. So the bulk were less familiar with it. Yeah, and more than the half we identified registered by smartphone. So more or less around 40% uses the desktop computer, but the majority a smartphone to register for the raffle. Yeah, thank you.
Dear Helvig, I would like to ask something, but maybe Robin would like to say something. Dear Robin?
Yeah. What do you want me to say?
No, you are sharing something in the screen. Maybe you would.
Oh, because Helvig forgot which criteria.
Yeah, universal.
That one person said that in BN there are 5 criteria, but the 5th criteria is included in the 4th I mentioned here. So it's not really another criteria. Because this 4 I'm showing now, you can split them up into 8 criteria or 10 criteria, but 4 is a nice number. And some guy from Hamburg network, the Grundeinkommen network in Hamburg, made these icons for those 4 criteria, and I use them always. If somebody uses basic income in the wrong way, I always send this picture to them. So.
Okay. Thank you, dear Robin. Dear Haluk, I would like to say a few things. In fact, you mentioned about one of them. In one of the Berlin meetings, I remember a friend from Grundeinkommen mentioned that discussions was in between the people from the leftist wing. So with this Grundeinkommen issue, it became something, a discussion separate from the ideological discussions. It was interesting, but more interesting than this is gamification. At the end of the day, it's a kind of gamification. And these two may be considered as an opportunity or strength of the approach, I guess, if you agree. And one other thing is, how can the raffle in Germany, I mean, the existing raffle, you mentioned that 2.2 million people are registered at the moment. How can it contribute more to the ECI UBI campaign? I mean, the UBI for all is just born and raising, but the other one is already there. Isn't it possible to receive more help to this campaign? Maybe Klaus can comment on this also.
Well, we work on it. I mean, we're working on it, and we are also, of course, we are connected with Mein Grundeinkommen, and they were already sending out newsletters and some social media postings about the ECI UBI, but I don't know, the impact wasn't that high. And they will send out a newsletter again. So this is what they can do.
Dear Klaus, would you like to say anything about the raffle and the ECI UBI?
Yes, from my point of view, this is a very nice idea, and would have the opportunity to spread this idea of UBI. And just these 4 criteria, which was mentioned by Robin, a very important one, and that should be known by everybody if we are speaking about UBI. And so I think it is a good idea to have it at first Europe-wide, but perhaps really it could be perhaps worldwide, at least that we are discussing this would be a good idea. I think so.
Yeah, thank you. Robin is showing us the website. Mein Grundeinkommen first, German language, and then it's only available in German language. Ali, so one additional answer to your question could be that they extend their website in English, to English language, for example, or even to France, French, Italian, etc.
Thank you, dear Haluk. Any other friends who would like to contribute or ask questions? Maybe Joe, would you like to say anything, dear Joe? Any comments? None. Okay. Herb, please. Dear Herb.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the right time, but I just wanted to introduce myself and talk about the UBI project we recently launched.
Please go ahead. I mean,
I can do it another time. I just wanted, it's the first time here. I think I may have met a couple of you. I presented at the BN conference in 2017 in Lisbon. And I know Eno Schmidt was there, and I've met him here in San Francisco a few times. But I'm with the Democracy Earth Foundation, and we recently launched UBI token. After presenting in 2017, we've been working on it since 2015, and just 2 weeks ago we launched it. So I'd just like all of you to check it out. It's at app.proofofhumanity.id. We certainly believe it meets all the criteria of basic income. It's periodic. As a matter of fact, it drips into your wallet every second. It's cash. It's directly to people. The only protocol is that you prove your humanity. So that is a protocol we worked on for the last few years. And it's a simple video protocol using Ethereum and some simple vouchers and protocols with online judicial system to root out bad actors. So all of you, I'd like you to check out that and let me know if you have any questions. Essentially, we created a new token because we realized that universal basic income, in our opinion, would be impossible to implement without a new currency. And new currencies are being implemented all the time in the world, starting with things like airline miles was a new currency. And now we've got thousands of them over the last couple of years, including and all the rest. But we also came up with a new way of valuing UBI as a currency. One of the things we realized is that when people earn money, and most people are trading their time for money, right? And what happens is you're given a current deflate. So itself was in time, such as there is no inflation, there's no deflation. And when you trade your time for money, that time, 1 unit, 1 hour, will always be 1 hour and not be deflated during the course of time. So it's a way to actually put value on time out there in an open protocol and deliver it directly to every human on the planet. So I'll stop there, but maybe in a future meeting, I can answer questions. In the meantime, you guys can check it out. So if there's any questions right now, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we can do it at a future meeting.
Dear Herb, thank you very much and very welcome once again. Maybe in the coming meetings, maybe we can hear from you a more detailed presentation and have more discussions on it. But if there are any questions at the moment, okay, I guess Eric would like to ask. Dear Eric?
Yes, I would like to ask Herb, can you write something in the chat box, maybe a web page or something that we can look after that? That would be easier for us to look in the internet what you are talking about. But it was very interesting about the time dollar. I know that I've heard about this time dollar, so it was very interesting. So I will look after. Thank you.
You're welcome. I did put it in the chat there.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Please.
Okay. I agree about swapping time for time. If I do the garden of my neighbor, it's my time, and then he paints my house, it's in the same time. That's okay. But how do you distribute a basic income in time? Because I've only 24 hours in a day. So if I get some time from the basic income, have I 28 hours in a day?
That's a very good question. And we spent a lot of time on that. And obviously UBI is related to working time. And working time is roughly, depending on where you are, between 1,800 and 2,000 hours a year. And a year, of course, is 8,760 hours. And so it's a percentage of actual time. And the wonderful thing about blockchains is they make wonderful clocks. Every few minutes, depending on what blockchain you're on, they're acting as a clock. And so we issue at a rate that is the equivalent to about 24% of working time. Okay, so no, the wonderful thing about time and population are those are the two natural limiting factors of the appropriate UBI currency, right? The number of people on the earth and the amount of time in a given day, week, or month. And so we issue it at a rate that equals a certain percentage of working time. And then one of the protocols that we knew had to happen is you have to increase the rate of UBI periodically, right? If Ray Kurzweil is right, he says by 2050, none of us will have to work, right? So the simple logical conclusion is that between now and 2050, we're going to have to distribute pretty much 100% of what other people are spending on working time right now. So we have the protocol moving from what is essentially 5% of time to 25% of time over the next 30 years. And doing so through a judicial process and voting process that will increase that on a regular basis. Hope that answers the question.
Thank you, dear friend. Maybe Renat would like to ask a question. Dear Renat?
Yeah, thank you, Herb, for this interesting presentation. I have two questions. One is about your time calculation, because certain jobs can be done with some minimal training or instructions. But let's say if you're a teacher or a doctor, you have sort of historically accumulated time. Without this, you wouldn't be able to do the job. So how do you take into account this difference? Because as I said, for some jobs, you need to have gone through a certain amount of training and education. And the second one is about, did I correctly understand that you use blockchain technology? And I was told that it is very high in energy consumption and ecologically unfriendly. So I would like you to comment on this one, or whether you agree or whether you have a different opinion about it.
Yes, relative to the energy consumption with blockchains, absolutely, and it is an issue, but it is an issue only with certain blockchains and those that use proof of work and energy to build consensus. So it is an issue, but it is being resolved over time. The same with transaction costs. In early days, they're high, and over time, those are being addressed, and I'm very confident of that. So relative to transaction costs, we've solved a lot of those issues already at the foundation. And then also, overall, we're using blockchains that do not use proof of work or high energy consumption, right? And your first question was, what? Sorry. Oh, relative to time, yes. People's time, one of the conclusions we came to, and I firmly believe, is that currencies today are a huge source of discrimination. The fact that I can pay a man here in the United States $500 an hour and a woman, say in India, $2 an hour, is fundamental discrimination. And so I would argue that actually everyone in the world, their time is equal. But what you can do with that time based on your experience and your training and your education and your contacts and whatnot, yes, what you can do with that time is not equal. So when we're paying people just for their time, we see the UBI token and mechanism we introduced as becoming a global world minimum wage, where you can't pay someone less than 1 unit for their time, but you can pay them a lot more based on their productivity sample. So you can still pay people a lot more for an hour, let's say the doctor or the lawyer or someone else who performs something of high value. But the fact of the matter is, and I will argue this till I die, everyone on earth, their time is created equal.
Thank you, dear Herb. Dear friends, any other questions or contributions? Reinhard, please.
Yeah, just as a follow-up, I mean, I don't think the value of time should determine what people are paid. I think the human need should determine it. So I mean, if you say, okay, everybody has the same time, I agree. But I think the payment somebody receives or the money as basic income should be determined by the basic needs people have. So because otherwise you could go below and say, okay, that is what we are paying now, but which is actually happening at the moment, that people, you have the working poor, they can't even live on their work. So I think the payment should be determined by financing your basic needs, such as housing, food, clothing, transport, etc., etc. Thank you.
And that's exactly what we do. We do it based on universally, everyone's treated the same, and it's supposed to represent the basic needs as a percentage of working hours. And so we do believe that that addresses that and solves that.
Okay, thank you, Herb. Any other friends who would like to say anything? Dear Peter, very welcome, but unfortunately you missed the presentation of Dear Helvig. Olaf, Peter, Vivan, would you like to comment or say anything? Nothing? Okay. Valeria is here,
I
but
just want to say that it is very interesting. I'm learning a lot.
thank you, dear Vivan. Thank you very much. Dear Valeria, are you here with us? Or can you contribute?
No, I can't. But I'm here. Thank you, Herb.
Thank you, dear Valeria. Any friends who didn't? Frank, Gast. Vasudeva is using the chat box, but if you would like to. No. Okay, may I ask a question to dear Helvig once again? Dear Helvig, can one consider cryptocurrencies during the raffles?
Sorry again, please.
Do you think there might be a possibility to integrate the cryptocurrencies and the raffle concept?
Well, difficult to say. I would say yes. I mean, it's from my point of view, it's a proven opportunity to create a kind of money, which is only an agreement between you and me that we say this is €1 is worth to pay this and to pay that, and a cryptocurrency is exactly that. It's an artificial currency which we are creating by our own somehow. So I would say yes, it's an opportunity, but I'm not an expert, so this is my
Thank you, dear Helvig. No other contributions, no other questions. If not, I would like to ask one more. Okay, dear Helvig, in case you do it with cryptocurrencies, do you think you will have a more flexibility? I mean, regarding the regarding the transfer of the money and or regarding the local regulations in different countries? It might be something interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I would say no. It makes it more complicated to the people understanding first, and second, you need your own cryptocurrency wallet to get the money out of the raffle. And I would rather say it's a good idea to extend the payment method by Bitcoin, etc., by the others, so that people can donate some money from the big winnings of speculating with Bitcoin, etc. So yeah, this might be a good idea. But to implement a cryptocurrency to a raffle as a basic currency, I need to think about, but I see some difficulties.
I think it's a really bad idea because of speculation. If you commit to a winner of a basic income for €800 a month for 12 months, then you have a fixed amount. And when you do it in Bitcoins, it can go any way you want. If you have your Bitcoins at a high rate, when the winner has won the year of the basic income year, then at the end of the year, the Bitcoin is dropped down and your money is gone. So it's a very bad idea, I think.
Dear Klaus, please.
Yes, I am also very skeptical about this possibility. I would not propose to go in this direction. Thank you.
Thank you, dear friends. We have to ask the questions to receive answers or comments. Any other friends who would, maybe, dear Herb, maybe in the future meetings, in one of the future meetings, you can tell in more detail about your token, and we can announce it in advance so that interested friends can join and listen you, and maybe they have some questions to ask. Who knows? If you kindly accept, we can do something like this. Okay. I guess there isn't any other contributions and questions. Is there any news from the UBI advocates? I mean, would you like to share any news from your country or none? Let me give you two small news. One is the following meeting of us, which will be in the fourth Tuesday of this month. It will be at 8 a.m. You know, the fourth meetings are in the mornings at 8 a.m. We will hear an interesting presentation from Paul Ross from Australia. I will share the full details. He prepared a very interesting topic. And also in May, during both at the second and fourth Tuesday meetings, we will be hearing dear Robin. Robin, are you here? Okay, he is not here at the moment. Robin will tell about the International Basic Income Week. You know, in September, we will have the 14th week, and he will give more details during that meeting, both meetings, right, dear Robin? Okay. So, dear Reinhard, please. You are muted, dear Reinhard.
Yeah, thank you. I just thought maybe it's interesting for some people to know about it. As I live in UK and I'm a member of the UBI Lab network, and in the UK there are elections in May. There are council elections, and then there are the creation of so-called super mayors, which are mayors for a whole region, and then there are elections for the parliaments of Wales and Scotland. And we are trying to get all candidates to pledge, make a pledge in favor of UBI trials. So it's a sort of way to get politicians informed about UBI and also engaged, and also to get the public engaged by trying to ask their council candidates and mayoral candidates and parliamentary candidates what they think about UBI. I can put all the webs.
Reinhard, we can't hear you. You are unmuted. You are unmuted.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. That is, I'm sorry to, I just wanted to say I'm a member of UBI Lab Network in the UK. And one of our actual initiatives, which may interest you, is that we try to get candidates for the elections in May in the UK. There are mayoral elections, which are so-called super mayors for a whole region, like West Yorkshire, where I'm from. And there are also elections for the Scottish and Welsh National Parliament, and also local council elections in England. So we try to get candidates to make a pledge that they support UBI trials, and to get voters to ask their candidates about UBI and whether they support trials. So it's a way to make UBI basic income known among politicians and also among citizens, and to get a discussion going. And I just put one of the websites is about the mayoral pledges. And for instance, which was the biggest coup, the mayor of Manchester, which is who is from the Labour Party, supports UBI trials, which is quite a hard work because the Labour Party has been traditionally skeptical about basic income. And so it's good to have a prominent Labour Party member supporting it. Thank you. And thank you, Eric, for letting me know.
Thank you very much, dear friends. Dear friends, in the chat box, I shared details of an event which will be held tomorrow at GMT 17:30. Dear Carl and dear Alexander will be our guests. This event is an event for a close group, but I have the possibility to invite close friends. And if you are interested, please write me a small mail, so I will try to make the arrangements. By the way, Eni is here. Welcome, Eni. Dear Eni. Okay, then we can finish our labor of today. Eni, unfortunately, we finished the session of today. We would like to thank dear Helvig very much. Helvig, I hope it was beneficial for you too.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Would you please share your email address too in the chat box so that we can get in contact with you?
Sure.
Dear Herb. Okay, dear Renat, would you like to say anything?
No, it's still raised, my hand. I have forgotten to put it down, sorry.
Okay. Thank you very much, dear friends. Today, it was only 70 minutes. It's good. We were planning to finish within 90 minutes, but today's meeting is 70 minutes. Good performance. Thank you very much to all. Goodbye.
Thank you, Ali. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Klaus.
Thank you very much and goodbye.
Renard, Olaf, it was nice to see you. I'm sorry, Eni, you just arrived, but we're about to finish. Thank you, Valeria. Thank you, Ivan. I'm closing the session.